So, continuing on with the book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, I have 4 points to make. One is uh, think about, short-term pain and gain in the long term. People do the opposite, short-term gain and pain in the long term. So always look at the long term. And what that means is making decisions in life that would impact in the long term. What kind of investments you make, what kind of relationships you build, what kind of city you live in, because that is also important. Living in a city where there are lot opportunities will put you on a better foot than in a place where there aren't many opportunities. So these are very important decisions in life that you have to think deeply before coming to a conclusion. A second point, compound interest. Whatever investment that you make, aim for a compound interest. A normal interest or a simple interest is when you put 5%, you get 5% in your capital. You put 2%, you get 2% on that capital. When you do compound interest, it means that your gains will be compounded with that interest, and then you get exponential returns. So that is number 2 about compound interest. Number 3 is read a lot. There are many things to read. There are a lot of books. If you spend reading your whole life, the book list won't be complete. So be selective when you read books. Especially focus on those ones that emphasize on the fundamentals. For example, if you want to learn about microeconomics, read a book by Alan Smith, for example. Learn from the best. So these books that have principles, look into those books which have these core principles. It's better to learn arithmetic, for example, than studying calculus, probability, statistics. Get these basics so that it can be used as principles. It can be used as aphorisms in your life. So look at the core of things. Also, think about when you're reading books, it's more important that you have this as a habit than how many hours you spend reading a particular book. You can take a book, you can skim through the pages. If you find it interesting, you can read it more. Otherwise, you can just drop the book and get another book. Don't feel bad about not completing a book, because if you get the gist of the book, you get the central idea. Most of the books have one idea or central theme. Everything else are just examples supporting that main idea. Okay, so think about that. It's about getting that habit. Find a book that you are interested in, get in the habit of reading, and then you can read other stuff. It might be difficult if you start to read something that you're totally uninterested, but that habit is important. It's like a muscle. You go to the gym, you work your muscles. That short-term pain over the long term, you gain muscles. Similarly to that, reading every day, having a habit of reading will improve that reading muscle. So, and when reading, focus on the fundamentals. Those are important. In a typical company work, when you are assigning work to people, think about the principles that they adhere to than actually the agents. So it's better to have a more smaller team perhaps who have more aligned with the principles of the company than have a big team delegating tasks to agents who don't really care about the principles. So when these core fundamentals are there in place, it is building up on this over the long term. That's it for now. Next time I will read more and share more takeaways. Thank you.